Hey comic fans, Dave here at Ground Zero, and yes, I know it's been a couple of weeks since I posted anything to YouTube, but I've got a great excuse because you see, last week Texas hosted the great 2021 Snowpocalypse. Now, for those of you outside of Texas, little known fact about Texans. We don't like winter. In fact, we dislike winter so much that we only host it every 3 or 4 years. But when we do, we go all out. That's 3 or 4 years worth of winter, all compressed into one ice-covered week. And that week was last week. Now, you're probably saying, Dave, that's okay because Texans are tough, they can handle it. And you would be wrong. Texans lost their poop and discovered it was frozen. Either way, comics were stuck in the ice in Dallas. We couldn't even get to the store for a few days, but it's all here now, albeit late, and it is a double week's worth of stuff, so the best I can do is hit the highlights for you. Are you ready? Well, here we go. First off, in a normal week, we would get 2 or sometimes 3 mutant titles. This week, we've got 5 big ones, including Cable, Marauders, X-Men, Wolverine, and New Mutants. That is a quadruple dose. It's a quintuple dose of mutant goodness for those of you who are into that sort of thing. Also from Marvel, the book everybody seems to mark their calendar and count the days till the next issue of King in Black comes in. Obviously, Donny Cates is the king right now, and he is doing wonderful work with this. It is here this week. Also, you might remember from a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that I was waiting on second printings of a couple of King in Black spinoffs that sold out really, really fast. Planet of Symbiotes and Gwenom vs. Carnage in particular. They are here, and in fact, in particular, the Gwenom vs. Carnage will sell out pretty promptly because people are collecting covers these days, and this one is one that everybody will want. So it's here. You're warned. A couple more from Marvel. In particular, they have a really good series called Marvel Voices where they spotlight various diverse creators. This particular issue is spotlighting Black History Month with a lot of great stuff in it. So you want to look out for that one, whether it's here or wherever you shop for your comics, because it is a worthy series to pick up. Marvel Voices. One more from Marvel, and that is XMen Legends #1. Now, this is written by Fabian Nicieza, who obviously wrote so much stuff in the 90s, and it's drawn by Brett Booth in his best Jim Lee style. So, honestly, this is the warm and fuzzies for those of you who grew up in the 90s with 2 bonus staples. XMen Legends, it's here. So now, I'm not going to talk a lot about DC because, frankly, most of the DC stuff we've got are Future State books, and Future State ends now. This is finally the end of all the Future State stuff, except for a few, spin-offs that they do going forward, but the 2-month hiatus that they did on all the other books is ending. Next week, stuff will return back to normal for DC. I think Batman is scheduled and a whole bunch of other stuff. Speaking of Batman, of course, the question on everybody's mind is exactly how many colors does Batman even need? You all know the answer to that. It is, of course, 2, black and white. Truth is, he really only needs black, but, there we go. Either way, black and white #3 is in, and it also will be a sellout because people love Batman. And frankly, they like 2 colors. So it's here. Couple of words that I will mention. In fact, 4, because I think I only need 4 words for this one. And that is Last Ronin is here. That's all you need to know. Okay, independence. A lot of good independence this week, and we're really trying to focus on independence a lot here at Ground Zero. A brand new one from Image is 2 Moons by John Accardi. Honestly, this is a great looking series. It is a horror zombie Civil War tale with lots of gore and violence. This one actually is pretty cool. They need to do more books like this, so come in and buy lots of these so they will do more books just like this. Just as you have been buying lots of copies of Crossover. Crossover has done really, really well. Of course, we knew it would. It's Donny Cates. Everybody loves Donny Cates. He's hitting it out of the park with this one. Either way, the new issue is in. So if you haven't discovered this yet, by all means, come jump on this one while you still can. Something else I've actually been really looking forward to from Image is new printings of the early issues of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. Really a cool science fiction title from Al Ewing. The first trade has come out, so you can get it that way if you want. But if you want the floppies, they have new editions of them, so you'll want to pick those up while you can. I recommend this. This is actually really good stuff. 2 more independent books I will mention. First off is You Look Like Death, the comic for cool people. Cool people already know this. They're picking it up already because they love Umbrella Academy and everything Gerard Way does. And here it is. One final floppy to mention, and that is Young Hellboy, because Mike Mignola wants some of that Mandalorian money. And frankly, you should give it to him. He deserves it. So Hellboy is cool, and it's bound to be even cooler when he's young. Trades. Lots of cool trades this week. I mean, being a double dose of stuff, huge amount of trades, lots of great ones, including Strange Academy from Scotty Young. This one actually has done really, really well, and a new kind of convenient smaller size format for those of you who like that particular style. Again, good series that quietly snuck up on people and has been a consistent seller, so you'll want to try that one if you haven't. Speaking of Batman, which I was a long time ago, Joker War. Now, this is the hardcover collection that collects the Joker War storyline. Honestly, this is everything people want from Batman these days. Psychotic Joker, lots of intense hand-wringing, new characters, new villains, punchline. Everybody was in this particular storyline. So really, if you're going to pick up a hardcover for Batman, this is not a bad one to do just that. Now, a book that kind of will get overlooked by a lot of people, but I definitely want to mention for those of you, it is Swamp Thing. They're doing the Bronze Age omnibuses now. They've already done the first two. The first two covered the Bernie Wrightson issues and the Nestor Redondo issues. Most people stop there and then skip ahead to the Alan Moore, but there's a big gap in between those 70s classics with Wrightson and Nestor Redondo, and then the absolutely seminal classic Alan Moore issues, and that is collected here. This was the early issues of Saga of the Swamp Thing, and again, it almost never gets collected or reprinted. It kind of gets forgotten about, but this is the big missing gap in your Swamp Thing collection. So honestly, you want to kind of jump on this while it's actually in print, because who knows how long it will stay there. Tales from the Dark Multiverse. Now, this has been around. We've sold a lot of them in hardcover. I like this stuff so much, it's probably a book you want to buy in hardcover, but a lot of you don't want to buy in hardcover. You want to save a few ducats and get it in paperback, so it is here. So definitely cool stuff for those of you who are looking for it and have been holding out for the hardcover. There you go. Department of Truth over at Image. James Tynion actually really surprised people with this one. Very much a sleeper hit, has done really, really well. The first trade is out now for those of you who missed it, because it's actually kind of difficult to get the early issues. So it's here. A couple more books. Ex Machina from Brian K. Vaughan. Now, obviously the big series from Brian K. Vaughan are Saga and Why the Last Man. But after you read those and you decide you're a huge Brian K. Vaughan fan and you want more Brian K. Vaughan, this is the book to get. This is the second compendium they've done, so they're really collecting the whole series in just a couple of volumes. Big, massive book. I personally like big, massive books, so you want to look out for Ex Machina, or Ex Machina if you're a Submariner fan. One final book, and that is Spawn. Now, we get a lot of requests for Spawn trades. People come in, they look through all our Spawn trades, and they buy the first one. So now they've decided to put out this big Spawn compendium. So if you buy the first one, you're going to be getting 1,136, I believe, pages of Spawn. So for all of you people out there looking for some Spawn, goodness, this is the book to get. Trust me, it is at 1,100 pages. It is all the Spawn you'll ever need, and probably an extra 1,000. Well, that's it for this week. So folks, wherever you're at, go into your local comic shop, look for some of this stuff and so much more. And guys, as always, it's not about having what you want, it's about wanting what you have. Stay safe, everybody.